Hi, good morning. Welcome to our class. Today we are going to learn minimum 50 words, 50. Now I have taken uh, some news pieces from the newspaper. Look at the first slide. It is a world of Covidiots and Covidians. These two words are new words. So coining of new words is called neologism. Neo means new, log means word. Neologism meaning coining of new words. We know today the buzzing word Covidiots. We know idiot. If you add COV to that idiot, you get a word Covidiot. Covidiot or Covidiots meaning who break the rules and regulations. And today the government's pleading the citizens to stay at home. But a few people, and they are violating the rules. They are trespassing the rules. They are not heeding the message of the government. And these people simply ignore the warnings regarding public health, regarding public safety. That too during the pandemic time or during the worldwide coronavirus outbreak. So it is a simple thing, common sense to everyone. But some people who are keeping the word, are keeping the rules, abiding by the rules, following the rules blindly, only for the safety of the public, and they are labeled as Covidians, but who are violating the rules or who are flouting the rules. FLOUT, flout means break. And those persons they are labeled as Covidiots. And these two words are newly coined words. And the government pleading everybody, you should be under a rock. Under a rock meaning that is stay at home. And they should be in the safest place. That is the only safe place. Unless you have been under a rock, you would know that there is a global malady, global illness on the loose. On the loose means roaming freely. If we are not careful and we are the perpetrators of the violence of this malady, and immediately and it devastates the entire world. It runs wildly and it damages the entire nation, rampages, and at that moment it is the beyond the control of anybody, and that devastation and that rampage goes uncontrolled. That is the reason the governments repeatedly begging the citizens to stay at home and they should be in quarantine, and that is the only medicine. So under a rock means and they should away from the streets and they should be in the safe place. And take the next slide. See here you are going to learn almost a half a dozen of words here. Look at the statement, braces for long lockdown. So this is one of the pieces from the newspaper, and here brace for meaning prepared for. Now everybody is preparing for long lockdown. See the text also here. As the state braces for extension of the lockdown for some more time, means every state is preparing for the extension of the lockdown for a few days. And people started scurrying. People started rushing to procure essentials from the nearby groceries. Here scurry means go quickly, move quickly. As the speculations were rife in, here there are so many speculations and there are so many rumors about the extension of this lockdown system, and there are so many gossips also. And when these gossips are widespread and people are rushing to the groceries and that is scurrying to the groceries shop in order to procure and in order to get their necessities. See, as the speculations were rife in means widespread, the media, since a few days, tongues started wagging about the lockdown. Means everybody is discussing and everybody is talking about this particular, the extension of the lockdown. Means here, gossiping, right? Tongues wagging means gossiping about the lockdown, and longer spurring the city dwellers to draw contingency plans to deal with the ordeals. Ordeals means here hardships that follow the extension order. Though the state is not witnessing any significant spike in the number of cases and fatalities. Of course, we are very fortunate, but comparatively, fatalities in India are lesser than that of any country. So in that way, and we are really lucky people. In spite of that, and government is taking some stringent steps. The healthcare authorities are not tamping down the efforts, even though there is less fatalities, but the healthcare authorities, and they are not trying to reduce the efforts to keep the COVID at bay, or to ward the COVID at bay, or to stave the COVID at bay. But they are taking, and they are also improvising and strengthening the efforts, and they are not tamping down. Tamping down means not reducing their efforts. And that too, the governmental machinery is working with the double vigor, means with so much of energy to flatten the curve. And it is axiomatic, that is, axiomatic meaning it is evident, it is clear, it is crystal clear, and it is writ large. WRITLARG. Writ large means very clear that we are all trying to map out the best way to cope with the new reality. So everybody is planning, and what are the ways and means to deal with this unprecedented corona. So this is the piece of news. In this piece of news we have these words: brace for means preparing for, and tongues wagging means that is gossiping, axiomatic meaning evident, scurry means rush, hurry, and tamp down means mitigate or reduce, cope with means deal with, rife in means widespread, keep something at bay means stave off, ward off, fend off, or avoid. Right? Next slide. And this is from Hindu newspaper. Bracing for, preparing for a rapid surge in cases. So surge is repeatedly I am using in my classes because the context demands here. And even in newspapers also every day we see this word surge, mounting, surging, skyrocketing, spiking. Means what? Increasing. Right? So everybody is preparing for a rapid surge in cases. But in Kerala, and this is not the situation, completely reversed the situation. And everybody praising the measurements taken by the government of Kerala. Because Kerala, recently we know that it was hit by heavy storm. And that storm devastated the state of Kerala. And at that time, and the people Kerala, they showed their resilient power. So with that experience, and they are strong and sturdy in facing any kind of problem. And today, it has set a good example, an exemplary thing to every state. But in Kerala, the death rate is not increasing, but whereas in other states, the fatalities or the death cases and death toll is on the rise, mounting, surging every moment. But on the contrary, in Kerala, that is not the case. So that is why here you can see the phrase buck trend. Kerala bucks trend with only 2 new cases. So here buck trend means it is completely reversed to the normal, or what you call normal course of action. Means in one way everybody, that is the cases are increasing, but in Kerala and cases are not increasing. So buck the trade meaning developed in an unexpected way. So in Kerala some unexpected thing has been taken place, that is mitigating the cases, or that is the case, there are no new cases, and those new cases are very few cases. So that is why, and in Kerala really it is completely opposite incident comparatively, right? So that's why here although death toll spikes in all other states, but whereas Kerala is bucking the trend, means unexpected thing happening there, and really that is a surprising thing, right? And here we have the one slide, and on that we have brace for impact. In a film, brace for impact, and all the, that is that the people you are looking at, the people that in that slide, and they are traveling in a aeroplane, and that is the crew, and that they are going to face a tragedy, a calamity. So that is why everybody is preparing for that impact. So brace for means prepare for. And the next slide, see here is some comic portrait, and that is called caricature. And in that caricature, and this is a style of using euphemism. You know, euphemism, it is the combination of 2 words. EU means good. Phemism means carrying. Carrying what? Carrying a good feeling. So euphemism is a polite saying. You see, if somebody is that is, if somebody met an accident and he dies, instead of saying instead of saying he died, we can say that he is no more. So he is no more is a euphemistic style. It is a polite saying for unpleasant thing. So here in this caricature, better to stay at home as all arrows are pointed in one direction, that is called up. That means if people are not heeding to the words or to the rules and regulations of the government, and there is a chance of right, going up. Going up is nothing but, and their life is at risk. So instead of saying that their life is at risk, and they are saying that all arrows are pointed in one direction, and this is called euphemistic style. Or you can also say that this is also an ironical saying. But staying at home, really, it is a heaven to everyone, because it is a safe place. For some, home is a sanctuary. What is the meaning of sanctuary? Where birds are kept is called sanctuary. Or otherwise you can say that, and that is the holy place, or that is what you call safe place. So what is a holy or safe place today? The home itself, right? So it was the place of what you call giving safety to all the people. If they come out and if they move into the streets, and really that is a danger to them. So home is called sacrosanct. In sacrosanct, the 2 words are sacre and sanct, meaning holy, double holy. So sacrosanct means the holiest one. Heaven, look at the spelling heaven. It is not a heaven, but the meaning is heaven, meaning it is a safe place, right? Heaven is also everybody desires for heaven. So here today everybody desires to stay at home. So heaven means a safe and secured place. It is called asylum. Generally, mad people are kept in asylum. And today, you can say that asylum means a safe place, or refuge. Refuge means a shelter, a safe shelter. So home is a safe shelter to many people. But ironically, we say the other in the other slide, sometimes this house is that is the home is not a heaven to some people. Because one way the effects of corona every day increasing dramatically. But on the other hand, domestic violence in parallel increasing, and so many people, and they are panic, not only because of this pandemic disease but also domestic violence. That too, our policemen, they are very busy and their schedule is hectic schedule. In that hectic schedule, they may not attend to the cases called domestic cases. Of course, they are also receiving so many calls, but they are unable to attend them, because today we know that the traditional methods or traditional forms of support are now not available to domestic violence victims, and this has become a boon to certain people and certain abusers. And really, this is a sad plight to women and people who are the victims of domestic victims. And today, domestic abuse, it is a topic. No longer it is a taboo subject. Means it is not a forbidden topic. Taboo means forbidden. And everybody has to discuss it. Today, what you call child abuse also increasing. These are all heinous activities. Heinous meaning wicked activities. Very, what you call abject activities. That is deadly activities. So everyone has to condemn it. Even though police people may not available to them, because all are busy in hampering the effects of corona. But on the other hand, and they don't have time to hamper the domestic violence. So definitely, and there should be some immediate measures should be taken by the government, and government has also started to look into the matter, right? And next, in the next slide, the same continues here. And today, who are the victims of domestic violence, and they are bearing the worst brunt of the crisis. Everybody is in a big crisis, and women's bodies bear the worst brunt of the crisis. Means they are the sufferers, and they are facing that that pangs of suffering, because they are caught under the hands of these abusers. So immediately the government and should come forward and to help the victims and who are in distress. In distress means who are in trouble. You see here, in a large increase in distress calls from victims of domestic violence since the pandemic broke out, right? So that's why, and it is the government's responsibility, and at the same time, and it is the citizens' responsibility. If they come to know that, if they find, if they hear, and if there are any victims, and immediately, and we should give a rendering hand. So sometimes home is not a heaven, home is not it's not an asylum, home is not a sanctuary to certain people and who are the victims of domestic violence. And in the next slide, we know recently Trump generally makes some comments that too. Umpteen times he committed that is faux pas. This is called faux pas. Faux pas means a social mistake. So in his Twitter, he twittered like this: Happy Good Friday. Donald Trump faces Twitter wrath for gaffe. Gaffe, gaffe meaning social mistake. It is a blunder, right? And this is a mistake committed by Mr. Donald Trump. So here, gaffe meaning social mistake, blunder, petty mistake, and faux pas also meaning social mistake. Umpteen meaning many times. And look at this slide, and here you are going to learn some idiomatic expressions. At the same time, look at the message here. The BBC Emily Maitlis was rightly lauded last night for debunking the myth coronavirus is a great leveler. That means here everybody feels that when this corona attacked both rich and the poor, and it has given a room for thinking that there is no discrimination to coronavirus, and it has broken out in order to what you can level the disparities or inequalities in the society. But this is not the case. One fine day, this corona will be wiped out, and at that time, definitely the poor will become poorer, the rich will become richer. So, this is a fleeting effect, a temporary effect, and it gives a chance of thinking that it is a leveler, but this is not a great leveler, and it never whitewash. Whitewash means, generally we use the whitewash in order to what you call cover the mistakes. So here, popular appetite there is not to whitewash our grotesque social inequalities. Grotesque meaning ugly. Ugly social inequalities prevailing in the society. And yes, this coronavirus did not whitewash or did not remove. So that's why it is only a myth. It is not a reality. And here I would like to take a chance of explaining some idiomatic expressions by making use of the word called white. Whitewash has another meaning. So in generally in sports we say that India whitewashed Pakistan. Right? What is the meaning of whitewash here? Conquered or defeated. Right? Whitewash means to cover one's mistakes. That is the another meaning. Next, white lie. White lie meaning harmless lie. That means if anybody lies, that may not offend anybody. And then that lie is called white lie. Next one, as white as a sheet or as white as snow also. So as white as a sheet meaning pale in color because of fear or because of some illness. Right. White elephant. White elephant means burdensome. It is really burdensome. Car is a white elephant to a poor man, a burdensome thing. Right. Next, wave white flag. That means surrender to the enemy. So generally in the war, okay, if the enemy is powerful, it is better to show or to wave white flag in order to save his countrymen. In many incidents we read in our mythological stories or in some fables, whenever the enemy is strong and the wise decision is waving white flag and surrendering to the enemy and at least to live on this earth. So wave white flag means surrender to, yield to or given. Right? So these are the words in this slide. And the next one, right, recently we know there is a brainstorming session taken place, and that session somewhat a lengthy session. We know the word marathon. Marathon means it is a long race. But here in this context, marathon means a long meeting, and that too it is sometimes it gives some tiredness also. So in that long discussion means a marathon, and the Prime Minister has given a promise and to look into the matter regarding lifting of lockdown system. And later that is restarting of economic activities, because there are a certain class of people and without working they cannot get their bread and butter. They have to eke out to meet their expenditures. So in view of such kind of people, that segment of people, and Mr. Modi, and he is in a view of lifting of lockdown in some safe places. So here marathon meaning it is what you call marching or long race, and another meaning of marathon is it is a long or what you call lengthy discussion, right? And here he has also given a hint. Hint at means suggesting. That means indirectly suggesting, and there is a possibility of resumption of economic activity. Next slide. Here See, the coronavirus impact in many fold today. So some people, they are getting uh, terrible dreams, nightmare, that is very fearful dreams, dreadful dreams they are getting. And they are also explaining vividly, clearly their frightening dreams. And they are labeled bizarre. Bizarre means eccentric. And sometimes, whenever we are in hectic schedule and whenever we are dog tired, completely tired, we get sound sleep. But today, there is no work. The only work is that is everybody is getting feared about this coronavirus. So that's why, and floods of what you call nightmares, and people are unable to get sound sleep, right? And here another word, awash with. You know the word wash. If you add a bit before the word wash, you get the word awash. Awash meaning here full of. Awash with means flooded with, right? On online forums, and online forums are flooded with people describing in detail their lockdown dreams. Awash with means here flooded with, inundated with, and plethora of, and plenty of, right? And another word, in tandem with. We are now like it or not, taking part in a giant experiment into the effects of increased stress in tandem with dramatically reduced social contact. So, in tandem with means along with. So, what is reducing? Dramatically reducing. Dramatically means unexpectedly increasing, and social contact. Today we are using a word, what you call social distance, and it is called euphemistic style. So, if anybody wants to meet somebody, okay, we should not say directly, I wouldn't like to meet you, I would like to avoid your contact. Instead of saying avoid one's contact, you can say that today we are under social we are under social distance. So social distance is a euphemistic expression. Okay, in our previous slide we discussed. Next slide. See, this is a piece of news from the Hindu newspaper. Disingenuous. Ingenuous means that is plain, right? This is disingenuous and antidote, and no antidote. No government should be permitted to hide behind the assertion of fake news, abdicate responsibility for its actions. We know today we are receiving so many fake news, disingenuous news, and we should not be under the trap of these fake news, or these what you call there is no truth, there is no iota of truth in those fake news. So we should not be trapped under these fake news, because that is not a medicine to us. Antidote means medicine. Next one, pharma units in limbo. Earlier we discussed the word in limbo. In limbo means in a difficult situation, and they are in a confused situation, right? To be or not to be, either to continue or not to continue, and they are in a fix, or they are at crossroads, we can say that, right? Next one, half of India under pangs of COVID-19. Here pangs means sufferings, and not only the today the ordinary people who are living in slum areas, and they are getting some other diseases, and whenever they are approaching the hospitals, and they are forcing to pay heavy amounts in order to get treatment. That means the poor pay through the nose. Pay through the nose means paying heavily, or paying so much of money in order to get something, right? So this is also a sad incident, that is a sad incident being taken place. And now look at this, is also from the newspaper. Telangana government puts best foot forward to beat COVID. You see here the idiom is put best foot forward, means they are trying their level best. They are working very hard to their level best in order to contain the corona, and in order to implement the rules in order to render their help to the needy people. Here the cases are upswinging. Upswing means increasing, and everybody is doing their work in a frenetic manner, means very hectic manner, and just to snuff out this corona. Snuff out means to destroy, to kill. And they are also making use of a slew of methods, a slew of measurements. A slew of means many measurements, many varieties of measurements, in order to attack, that is in order to contain this corona. Unless this corona whack the state economy. Whack means hit the state economy. So whenever they find new cases and increasing of the new cases, and those zones are declared as hotspots, and smoldering the cases in that particular area means increasing. Smoldering means actually fire, right? So there the cases are smoldering means increasing. That's why the Telangana government has taken strict steps, and that too they are pulling up their socks, and they are fighting this corona in a wise manner, and with so much of commitment also, right? So in this slide, upswing means increasing, frenetic means that is called what you call they are doing very strictly, and snuff out means to kill, slew of meaning many, and smoldering means increasing, whack meaning hit or batter, batter, right? Right. Here this is also a cartoon, and here fox telling his colleagues, already tiger infected with coronavirus, and people are also affected with coronavirus. So that's why you should be at arm's length. You should maintain social distance. That too, who are advising, who are giving that suggestion, who are hinting at, and that too, that is a fox. So fox is a symbol of cunning nature, and it is a foxy message, and there is no iota of truth in it. But some innocent people, they may believe it, because this fox is very clever at cheating people, looting people, and misleading people by making use of devious methods. Devious means some immoral methods. There are some foxy people in the society, and they follow some fake methods. By hook or crook, they want to win the match. By following some foxy methods, they are as clever as a fox, as sly as a fox, as wily as a fox, as cunning as a fox, as crafty as a fox. Means as clever at, good at cheating, looting, booting the public, the innocent public. So here all these idioms meaning that is cleverly and very cunningly cheating or misleading the society, right? Next one. Here is another caricature. When this lockdown system, it has been announced to continue lockdown system, and here, yes, some men are ready to continue their deep slumber. We know the word hibernation, particularly during the winter season. Bears, they are in hibernation. They are in inactive position, dormant condition. And because of this unprecedented corona, all the activities are put in abeyance, and they are in hibernation, means a dormant condition for a few days. So here he wants to continue to sleep, and this person is called somnolent person. Somnolent means lazy person, lethargic person, lazy person, lackadaisical person, lackluster person. He has taken advantage of continue his sleeping, and he wants to be in dormant position. He wants to lead a sedentary life. Sedentary means inactive life, right? And this is the slide I would like to make use of this slide to explain all these words. That is lazy, lethargic, lassitude, slumber. He is in deep slumber, deep sleep. Everybody likes very few people like continue to work, but majority of the people, they like to be at home. But today they are making use of this best opportunity. That's why he is continuing his sleep. He is in dormant condition, and that is called hibernation. Or in winter, bears usually hibernate in their dens. Now he is also wants to continue in his own den. Right, thank you very much. And today I tried my level best to explain all the slides. And if you count all these words, not only on the slides, even in my explanation, only for the benefit of you, I am using certain synonyms, and which are very useful, and sometimes some words are repeated. Okay, it is nothing wrong in it, I think so. So this is not golf, or this is not a faux pas, means a social mistake. Because this is a learning process. We are all learners. So I hope you understand. Okay, thank you for your monumental patience. Thank you very much.